We saw Matteo Ferrari on the screens there take second from Andrea Mantovani. Not seen our race winner yet. He was very happy with that. Casadei not as much so though, Neil, right?
No, absolutely not. It wasn't all Italian battle for the podium. Of course, with Mattia Casadei, the man that qualified second on the grid. He was also involved in the shootout for victory. It was a great race in race one. Curious, I'm really curious to see just who might spring up to the front of the field. You might see some guys unwilling to take some risks, guys that maybe feel in the dry they didn't have much chance, willing to push a little bit more with the hope of getting a good result here. Yeah, we're still on schedule then for a 4:20 start to this race in just over 10 minutes time.
Well then, there is Casadei looking well in the zone, isn't he? With that clear visor on, ready to go. Cito Pons to his right, our left at the screen there, holding the umbrella too. No such rain suit on for Casadei either. What such a different challenge this is with the weather conditions as they are. I mean, just look at that, absolutely soaking wet with so much spray heading down towards San Donato. Very, very difficult indeed, because of course you don't really know where the braking markers are, do you, when it's changed so much? This is just the general rule is it's substantially earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to cast my mind back, Matt, through the previous 4 seasons of the MotoE racing. I seem to remember the first year in 2019 when we went to the Red Bull Ring. I think we had dry qualifying there, then maybe it was a wet race, and pretty much the race was the first time, the first chance the guys had to actually try the circuit out in wet conditions with wet tyres, and they did a pretty good job of it, if I'm not mistaken. There was 1 or 2 falls. I think Eric Granado crashing out on the run up to turn 3, but yeah, it's going to be very, very tentative, I imagine.
Just listening there to Eric Granado talking to Erta about the conditions out on track, trying to find out where there's standing water. Turn 7, he said they're on the inside of the curve. There's some substantial amounts of liquid there. The other thing I was going to mention though, Neil, with these sorts of conditions here, the good part is with these new machines, there is a degree of traction control, isn't there, as well now. We talked a lot about this in Le Mans. As we see, that's just the confirmation of why Eric Granado starts from 4th, not 3rd. The traction control on these Ducatis is where it's really going to help them in these sorts of conditions, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the Michelin wet tyres are really, really fantastic. Any rider stepping up from Moto2 into MotoGP trying the Michelin wet tyres are always amazed. I think one of the rookies this year said they were amazed, or maybe it was last year, they were amazed that they had their elbow down in the wet. So, yeah, capabilities of Michelin's wets are really, really good. There is the race 1 winner, Andrea Mantovani. Razlan Razali, team principal for the RNF squad, looking slightly concerned. The Duke of Limham. Fran?
I was just going to give you a non-VIP but probably very necessary rain update. It's definitely slacked off a little bit. Obviously I'm conscious this is not the spiciest update, but given from TV it can be hard to tell. Definitely not raining as hard. A few little bits of standing water right on the edges of the grid, but the tarmac itself, it's not too bad. It's certainly a very different situation as it was the minute pit lane opened, which just seemed like a torrential downpour. Now it's a completely normal amount of rain to be racing in. Just hope that around the track there's no standing water in the way and we can get underway on time.
Yeah, thanks for that, Fran. Just eavesdropping into Eric Granado's conversation with an Erta official. It did sound, he said 7 and 8, so that is Civelli, the downhill left-hander after Casanova, and then into Arrabbiata 1 at the bottom of the hill. He was saying there was standing water on the inside of 7 and then through to 8. So hopefully we'll find a solution to that in the next couple of minutes so we can get away on time at 4:20. Good to see a sizable contingent have stuck around in the grandstands after the MotoGP sprint for this one.
Yeah, to be fair, it's probably a good thing for the audience and attendance, isn't it? At the moment with the rain, sort of thinking, well, I'm not going to go out in that rain. Actually, I'd rather sit and watch all this as well. Anyway, so thank you very much. As we see Jordi Torres there, series leader, of course, but finished up the race earlier on this afternoon in P9, a beneficiary of Nicholas Spinelli crashing out of podium contention. That was very much exploratory for him, and well, another challenge challenge for him this afternoon, at this point in the afternoon, Neil, as well, because he only just about got to grips with Mugello in the dry. Now he's got to get to grips with it in the wet.
Exactly, although this might be a bit of a leveler for Jordi, because he was playing catch-up right from the start of this weekend. He actually asked a couple of his fellow championship contenders if they would mind giving him a tow in P1. Unsurprisingly, not one of Ferrari, Granado or Garzo were really willing to do that. So Jordi Torres had to make his own way, learn his own lines. First visit to Mugello for Jordi since 2014. He missed last year's MotoE round, of course, because of injury.
Absolutely. So, yeah, big challenge ahead for Jordi Torres, or could it be the great leveler, as you say, Neil? Excitement anyways, as the clock ticks over to 4:14 local time. We are due to be getting underway with racing in 6 minutes.
Yeah, just a quick addition then. I don't want to talk to any riders too much, because this is already a stressful enough situation. So I just had a few little off-the-record questions. I just asked Jordi, since you're talking about him, is this better for you or worse for you? And he put his thumb up and sort of smiled. So I think maybe it will be a bit of a leveler, at least for those guys who had such speed in the dry. He's hopeful that maybe that gap will close.
Yeah, not many people could really get within touching distance of the Podium men in the first race. Two men, of course, from the front row. Ferrari and Cassidy and then Mantovani. Hector Garzo was pretty much the best of the rest, wasn't he, Matt? With a nice last lap overtake on his teammate Randy Krummenacher. That was enough for 4th place for Hector and enough to maintain second in the championship. It's been a really solid start to the season for the Spaniard.
Fans are well chuffed, well up for it, aren't they? With their ponchos on and everything like that. You can see they're part of the MotoE Ferrari fan club under the pink poncho there to the right. Looks like Tony Arbolino in the back. Is anyone track Tony down? Where is he? Has he just gone to the fans to party it up? Nicola Spinelli, Neil, what have we got to say about this? What about this rider here? Because that was another rookie mistake, unfortunately, back in race 1 earlier today.
It was rather unfortunate. Spinelli obviously crashed out when he was on a potential pole position lap, actually, in qualifying yesterday. He'll be starting from 10th again and looking to get a finish too. We're going to pass down to Fran. She's managed to grab hold of RNF's Razlan Razali.
Yeah, so the quickest grid interview in the world, Razlan. Obviously, very different situation now, but a first win for Andrea this morning. How did that make you feel as a team? It's some great news after a tough year so far, no?
Yeah, I mean, this is our 3rd, 4th year in MotoE, and to win the first one with Ducati with Andrea Mantovani is unbelievable. It's really nice.
It is. What do you think about race 2 then now?
Don't know. I think it's the first time everybody's riding in a full wet condition, so I hope the bike can still run.
Malaysia style, but not quite as warm. Best of luck.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thanks, Fran. Thanks to Razlan as well. Fingers crossed then that we have a safe race. I don't think we had any wet running, Matt, in MotoE last year. I think the second or the first race on the Saturday was maybe there was a little bit of rain falling, but I think it was dry. So
yeah, it properly started falling for the Rookies' Cup straight afterwards, which is sort of a similar situation today, actually. Rookies' Cup was absolutely drenched, whereas this was mostly dry. I think they got away with it just right at the end, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, so I don't think they'll have. Sorry, Fran.
Sorry, I was going to say, was it here where we had the delay of on-off, or was that Assen? My memory no longer serves me very well.
That I believe was Assen, yeah, we're due to various things going on. Well, we have the Sting this time around. Great news. Let's get another look at the grid then. A little bit of spicy difference from race 1. We like it. Bit of variety, spice of life and all that. Ferrari takes off from P1, Cassidy P2, Krummenacher the Krumminator in P3 from tonight's races. Then Eric Granado P4, leading the second row ahead of earlier's race winner Andrea Mantovani. Kevin Zanoni, another Italian there, in 6th position on the second row. Jordi Torres takes off from the 3rd row of the grid alongside Kevin Manfredi and Hector Garza. What sort of wizardry can Garza come up with in towards turn 1 once again? Spinelli, the only rider on row 4. Auchi, both Salvadori and Rabat starting from pit lane. Then we got Finello and Mikel Pons, Zacconi on the outside of that row. Bringing up the rear we have Hikaru Kubo, Mika Perez and Maria Herrera. The rain is the great leveller, as we will see. what transpires into this one? Big penalty for these guys on the back, well, not even on the back road, just starting from pit lane. That's why they got the sad faces on their graphics there. A very subtle bit of storytelling from the TV crews. Nicely done. No warm-up lap either. Here, it's just all go in MotoE. And but cannot wait for this one though. Look at the fierce eyes from Tito Rabat. Laser sharp focus down to San Donato, even from pit lane. Brilliant stuff this will be. Any predictions, Neil?
I mean, the form book is it's out the window, to be honest, man. Really struggling to call this one. I seem to remember Eric Granado was pretty quick in previous wet MotoE outings. Maybe Eric from the start of the second row.
Interesting, yeah, could be. I mean, I'd like to see an Eric Granado thing, but also after Andrea Mantovani's Park Ferme interview earlier on, I'd actually say I'd like to see him win it once again. I think that was absolutely brilliant. Here is Hikari Akubo then, P16 for him on the grid. Another year in MotoE as well. Fist bumps all round. Away we go with motorcycle racing here in Mugello once again. Look at that gaping hole in the middle of the grid as well as those two riders. Salvadori and Rabat start from pit lane once again. Giant eyes on stalks for Cassidy. Looking ahead towards the lights. Cruminator gets himself in the zone as well. He feels that little bit more tense at the moment with 13 seconds to go. The red flag is up at the starting grid. Ahead of it, riders engage their motorcycles, ready for the start. It's 11 on pole from 40 from number 3, and the green flag waves. The lights are on for MotoE Race 2 in Mugello. Racing the riders get away from the giant bubble on the inside. Predator sweeps over to the inside line, but it looks like Cassidy might have the run on them all in towards turn 1. Who will be the last of the late breakers here in towards turn 1? Very, very gently does it with Manfredi there, slotting it. I was concerned about him, but it looks like it is the last of the late breakers. Cassidy harnessing his inner Davizioso. He takes the lead from Ferrari and Krummenacher there. Mantovani Race 1 winner into 4.
Yeah, we have one of the two Kevins, in fact two of the Kevins just behind from the SIG 58 squad. It is Manfredi, then Zanoni. Mikel Pons and Eric Granado has been shuffled back to it, but you can see Mattia Cassidy has got a big advantage up front. Clear vision from him, whereas back in the pack it looks as though visibility might well be an issue. Yeah, it might well be, you're absolutely right. That's why they've got the red lights on the rear of their machines so they can see the other riders all around, hopefully. But here we go then, into Casanova Cervelli for the first time. We have Cassidy leading for Ferrari, and that's Torres moving up the inside of Mikel Pons, just about for 7th place. Very easy does it on the throttles here, down towards Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Lovely banked corner here, shouldn't have too much problems with rear grip. This one, Kevin Manfredi's already making some movements up through the top 6. He's got himself past Bradley Krummenacher through Arrabbiata into 3rd, change the lead. Matteo Ferrari overtakes Cassidy coming down into Scoglia. We have Manfredi into 3rd, but for how long? Krummenacher moves up the inside, has experience. You see Granado now trying to move up the inside of Manfredi. All the experience from the Brazilian as well. He's trying to move up to 3rd, just about. He's got Manfredi all over the back of his Ducati as well. Yep, impressive stuff from Mikel Pons. You have to say 14th on the grid. Mikel is already up into 6th. He's got to be the big mover on this first lap as we go on board with Jordi Torres. You can see there, visibility, a serious issue as we come through the Biondetti chicane. He cuts that tight on the exit, and he's going to try and have an inside line on Mantovani coming into the final turn, but I think it's the better option. Some riders way wide into the final turn there. Sorry, Neil. That's all right. Yeah, absolutely. I think, struggling to keep up here, Matt, but yes, certainly I think that was Krummenacher that was very wide going into Bacini. Matteo Ferrari then manages to lead across the line. It's been a fairly clean first lap so far. I have to say I'm pretty impressed. Eric Granado making really rapid progress up to 3rd. It's a long season to go, no one making any daring moves just so much, but that is a little bit daring from Granado, enough to overtake Cassidy for 2nd place. He doesn't want to let Ferrari get away with it. He could well take charge of this championship. As you can see to the right of your screen there, 70 points if he takes this win. That's Manfredi up the inside of Cassidy now. He could have been a little bit spooked there, I'd say. Pushed all the way back from 1st down to 3rd and 4th
the space for lap.
Yeah, and I think Mikel Pons is going to overtake him pretty soon as well. You can see Pons is now climbed up 10 positions from the starting position. It's been a sensational first lap and a bit from the number 77 teammate, of course. Oh, and he's down!
He's down! Oh, dearie me, too much confidence, overcooked it. Down he went for Pons. That's a shame. Neil, I'm calling that your fault. It's commentator's curse. Unfortunately so for the Spaniard. You can buy him a beer later on.
Yeah, I do owe that man an apology. Sorry about that, Mikel. Just as I was bigging you up, he unfortunately crashes out just before he goes down in towards Casanova. Eric Granado, though, looking really good. And what about this from Kevin Manfredi? Certainly the most impressive we've seen from the number 34, named Kevin, in this MotoE category in his time so far. Casadei is just taking a little bit of a breather there in fourth position. So difficult, man, it must be to judge these conditions as the rain continues to fall.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just get faster and faster as the race goes on, to be honest. The conditions, so long as they aren't worsening, they'll just be feeling their way around. Very sensible so far. Pons just sort of rolled the dice, and unfortunately he got bit by the conditions, didn't he? Krummenacker has been pushed back a little bit towards 5th place. It's now all settling down somewhat. Ferrari in charge for now, but Granado certainly on the hunt. But Manfredi would have seen what Mantovani managed to do in race 1 in the dry conditions. I thought, you know what, a beautiful story could be in it for me too here today.
Yep, Mikel Pons has obviously got his bike going again. He's rejoined the race, albeit right at the back. To say I'm quite impressed by Casadei. I thought he was being dropped a few corners ago, but he seems to have got his second win. Kevin Manfredi is looking for a move as we come up into San Donato on Eric Granado. What can number 34 do?
Not quite enough for him yet, or is it? He just sort of lets the brakes go a little bit in towards San Donato. He parks it right in the middle, very nicely done. Neat as you like, but Granado trying to hold his speed round the outside, guard his line, not so much. Very well done by now the fastest rider on the grid at the moment, Kevin Manfredi.
Impressive stuff. You can see their lap times 20 seconds off what we were doing in race 1, but no surprise when you consider the amount of rain that is still falling and the track is absolutely soaking wet. Plus these guys are still finding their way in these conditions with no real prior experience at racing speeds. It's a 3-way shootout, maybe a 4-way shootout currently. Mantovani and Torres have both got past Randy Krummenacker. Krummenacker struggling ever so slightly, and behind them Nicola Spinelli has got past Garzo. Garzo not really able to make an impression in these conditions on the top 6.
And look at the likes of Manfredi, just absolutely up for it here today. He can sniff a podium and a win. I mean, how glorious would that be for him? But what are you thinking if your likes of Ferrari? A championship cannot be won today, but a championship can certainly be lost. And potentially, is it worth the risk? What risk are you willing to take when you've got someone who's never got a MotoE podium or win before just swarming all over the back of you? What about Eric Granado? Is he just full chat now? He's missed one whole round of action in MotoE this year. He still wants the title, doesn't he? He's missed out from it despite having more wins than anyone else in this category. Will he just sit tight with a podium, be happy with that? Or is he going to throw it for the win today as well?
Yeah, it's been a really impressive return for Eric Granado to the MotoE category. He wasn't able to take part in last weekend's World Superbike round at Misano due to the swelling on his brain as a result of the big bang that he took to the head at the Catalan World Superbike round a while ago. So considering that, it's really impressive that Eric is up there fighting strong. Had a good race 1, steady away, 6th position, and it looks as though he's on course for a podium here. Casadei is not being dropped, is he, man? He was at certain points in the last couple of laps. Come across the line, the fastest man on the track is actually Mantovani in 5th.
Well, no, now it's Spinelli as well, so a rookie who's made 2 rookie errors, unfortunately, in 3 races so far in his short MotoE career, looking to try and make amends there. Currently in 8th place, a lot of work to do if he wants to be in the fight for the podium. He'll rely on some very unfortunate events occurring up the front end of this field, that's for sure. But as we look forward to this one, it does look like Casadei latching onto the back of Kevin Manfredi once again. Granado moves into the lead then, but he runs wide. Will he maintain that lead from Ferrari? Will Ferrari let him go? Well, is it worth the risk? What change does that make to the live championship? Well, Ferrari, he punches him straight back in towards first place again.
Yeah, held my breath there. Eric Granado on the curbs on the exit of that turn. Obviously had to be very, very careful with the throttle application. Fran?
I was just going to say, absolutely. Oh, and that's pretty close as well. Eric seems to have really decided now was the time, even daring to go on those curbs, but looks like Kevin Manfredi has access denied.
Exactly, he's not going to let it get away from him too easily, is he? He saw exactly what Mantovani did. You know, another Italian on home turf. It is extra special, it is here in Mugello. Whatever the conditions, whatever the situation, whatever the number of people watching the trackside given those conditions as well. It's 4 riders can barely be separated here in MotoE Race 2. We're getting towards halfway through the race as well. It'll be 2 laps to go as we come over the start and finish line this time around. Biondetti 1 and 2, the ultra fast chicane, even in these wet weather conditions. Goodness me, it's coming towards a heck of a climax.
It certainly is, yeah. Mantovani, quickest man on track last time around. As Casadei looks as though he's going to have a run on Granado. He had a look anyway into Bacini, and Granado cuts it tight. That's a beautiful move.
Wow.
Underneath Manfredi for second position. Excellent stuff from Eric Granado. I was just saying, Matt, Mantovani made a mistake in the third sector of the track. He lost about 0.4 of a second. I think we can count them out off the victory challenge now.
So we have an 8-wheeler for the win here in MotoE Race 2 in the pouring, atrocious conditions here at Mugello. They're quite used to this around these parts as we see Casadei making a move for at least third place. He slots in front of Manfredi very nicely indeed. Granado maintains that first place as Ferrari looks behind him, checking to see how many riders are on their tails. I guess, to be honest, when there becomes 4 riders fighting for the lead, it's hard to judge how many riders are still with you in that context as well. But Granado out front, eyes forward Ferrari as we see yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. Who is it? It's Mantovani, your race winner from earlier on. He's down and out, his bike's perfectly parked upright in the gravel. How on earth have you done that? Very well done. Look at that, perfect. Take a photo.
Yeah, shame for Mantovani, just losing touch with the leading group in that last lap. And that promotes Nicola Spinelli up into 5th. Jordi Torres to 6th as well. Krummenacher, who started well. Oh, and that's a big moment from Casadei, coming down through Savelli. And Kevin Manfredi now has a bite at Matteo Ferrari coming through Arrabbiata 1. Look at the progress that Eric Granado has made. He's put 0.8 of a second into these guys in half a lap, man.
I'm not sure what's happened in that first sector. Maybe the conditions are worsening there a little bit, but Eric Granado, clearly not for him. The others all lost substantial ground to the Brazilians. So this could well be, I don't want to jinx him. I'm not even going to say it, actually. Forget it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to jinx you, Eric. But this is looking very good at the moment for Granado if he can hold it together. 1 point would separate in these current conditions Torres and Ferrari. Sectors 1, 2 and 3. We have another rider down potentially in sector 3 here. It's none of the leading quartet or quintet, as it's Spinelli catching them up as well. But that is a big shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Spinelli showing some...
Oh! Spinelli again! Or is it no? Is it Casadei? It's Casadei this time, and he is absolutely totaled that Ducati at Biondetti. Oh, my apologies to Spinelli, but he's got form. I got it wrong in race 1. It's Casadei now this time around who's gone down. That's drama for the Italian.
Absolutely, that's a disaster for Mattia Casadei. His second crash out of a race this year, and that could be, well, curtains for his championship challenge. Maybe a bit too early to say that.
Ferrari's not gone down. No. Everyone, Ferrari's not down. He's there in the middle of your screens. Thank goodness.
Absolutely, yeah. A little error with our graphics there. Apologies. It is a fastest lap of the race still for Eric Granado on the penultimate lap. And a fastest lap by some distance, Matt. He was over a second quicker than Kevin Manfredi in second.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. I would like to say, though, our timing screens tell us it's Finello who has gone down. That'll be the rider who went down in turn 3. Oh, it's red flag. Ah, what a shame that is. Oh, Spinelli knew he was catching him. That's it, and that will be a result, ladies and gentlemen, watching on a red flag. That is a real shame. So Spinelli down, and of course we hope all the riders are okay, but you did see Casadei's bike went way towards the air fence. That's the only part of the track where there is an air fence there. Here he is walking away, thankfully, but that's brought an end to this race. Oh, it was just crescendoing, but never mind. But that is a victory then for Eric Granado, though.
Yeah, it is. Well-earned victory as well for Eric. You can see he's been past the Brazilian flag. The Brazilian flag is never far away from a victory celebration with Eric. And, well, he absolutely deserved that. Took his time in the early stages of that race before really making it count once he hit the front. On that last lap, man, he was 1.2 seconds faster than Kevin Manfredi in second. He was 1.9 seconds faster than Matteo Ferrari. Incredible stuff.
Astonishing, yeah, that is Eric. I mean, he can certainly master these conditions, can't he? Brilliant stuff. And here's what happened to Cassidy then, Neil. Oh, just span out. That bike. Oh wow, that really scrumbled. Blimey, oh blimey. Oh, goodness.
Totaled. Absolutely totaled is Mattia Cassidy's machine. Unfortunately, he did have 3 crashes in about, well, 2 or 3 minutes. There were crashes for Mantovani, Finello and Cassidy, all basically within a lap. I was wondering whether that meant that the conditions were worse than, but there you can see race directions let us know that it was a red flag due to that crash for Cassidy. Obviously, they couldn't really retrieve his bike.
Well, yeah, it's, to be fair, when it's like that totaled, it's fairly hefty still. Any sort of motorcycle in that sort of condition, when you can't just simply pick them up and wheel them away, you need to be putting them onto the back of something, don't you? So, absolutely understandable. So there we go then. Riders coming back into pit lane then. So that is a result called, and that will be then Granado wins for Manfredi and Ferrari. Spinelli, chuffed for him getting that finish, even though he was clearly annoyed. He could sniff a podium. He was coming on very strong. Another rider with the 2:13s. Just 2/10 slower than Granado that last time around, so he couldn't have got the second spot, you might say.
You can see that. Is that gravel?
No, I think it's rubber.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely. I was wondering if there was some debris maybe from Cassidy's fall and come back on track, but I think you're right. It looks like rubber. Eric Granado though, what a way to make your return to the class after a 1-round absence. Granado then comes away a 6th place and a victory. And that is the Brazilian's 11th victory in MotoE. Last 4 and a bit season. Sensational stuff for Eric.
He is brilliant, isn't he? You can't not love Eric. Just such a great guy. Loves his racing. Loves being in MotoE. Every win means so much. And as you can see from his reaction there, this return to action here as he sees his compatriot Diogo Moreira. Fantastic. That I love to see. Very cool indeed. I tell you what, so there's 2 flags in the world that you will see at every single MotoGP round without fail. One's the Brazilian, what do you think the other one is, Neil? It's opposite our commentary position right now in the grandstand, taped to the back, the Scottish flag as well.
Sorry, Swiss.
Actually, you're right as well, there's the 3rd, the Swiss. Previously for Aegerter, now for the likes of Cruminator, who finished 7th today.
What a ride that was from Eric Granado. He is the wet weather master in this MotoE World Championship. Fantastic way for him to make his recovery and his return to this category. First victory of the season. And after missing the chance to score 50 points at Le Mans, putting himself maybe back in contention for the championship. What about this man though? Kevin Manfredi, a first podium for him in the MotoE World Championship.
Absolutely. Oh, look at the Riders' Championship already. There we go. Manfredi. How's that? Podium for the Flying Mustache, no less. There is Marco Grana, his crew chief to 2 riders in Moto3 and a MotoE rider as well. 2 MotoE riders, I should say, with Kevin Tononi too. Paolo Simoncelli, that will mean a lot to him here as well, won't it? Brilliant stuff. And there's Ferrari talking to Manfredi, reviewing the race.
Yeah, great stuff for the 658 Squadra Corsa team. They haven't had much joy in the Moto3 World Championship this year. Ricardo Rossi and Kaito having a few issues to get competitive. Really nice to see those guys getting some relief with a great result in the MotoE World Championship. And Freddie, previous best result, man, was 7th place, which he scored earlier today, and also in the Mans, as well as Assen last year. So best finish for him by 6 places, 5 places, sorry.
He's coming on strong, and he beat this man here today, Matteo Ferrari. 3rd place, down at Parfumé with Fran Wild.
He is indeed. Well, Matteo, there was a lot for you to lose in that race, given your place in the standings and your form so far, but you still seem to put everything into it to try and win it. Talk us through a pretty hectic race too.
Yeah, really happy about this result, because with this condition and when you are really fast on the dry condition is difficult to arrive at the end. I lead in the group from the first lap. The feeling with the bike was incredible. At the end, Eric and Kevin passed me, but I said, okay, I have to take this podium. That is very important for the championship. Now we have to think to Assen, but really happy about our work of this weekend. Thanks to my family, to my friends that are here, my sponsor, and for sure my team.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Ciao. Ciao.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, as you said about the races, what do? Is it if you play the sensible card? I mean, he's the only rider in the top three of, in the top four of the championship even, who is actually on the podium here today. So Ferrari, although he doesn't actually take the championship lead from Torres, who with his fifth place finish has 63 points to Ferrari's 61. That is still very sensible indeed. And he is Mr. Consistency. That's how he won his first title. But what about this rider, the flying moustache, Kevin Manfredi, podium in MotoE, down in Parc Ferme with Fran Wall.
Indeed. Well, Kevin, congratulations. That was an incredible race, and you're in Parc Ferme on the podium. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very happy because it's my first podium in the MotoE World Champion. Nothing. When I look the rain, I think now is my day, and maybe it's my day because in the last lap Eric is very fast. But it's okay. It's the first podium. Maybe in Le Mans I push him for the podium. In the race one, I have the little difficult, but in the race two, my first podium is very nice.
Well, congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you. Bye.
Fantastic stuff. Well done to Kevin Manfredi. First ever podium in the MotoE World Championship. You can see that big moment that was just trying to see, was that Cassidy?
It was way earlier on in the race, but then Cassidy unfortunately later on. But there we go. Granado's done it. Win number 11 for Eric. What does he make of it, Fran?
It is. So win number 11, your first of the season after that really tough month you've had at home. Rain that's enough for me to want to go inside, never mind racing in it. How do you feel, Eric? Congratulations, that was an incredible race.
I feel very good. It's an amazing day for me. I think one of the best of my life. Like I said yesterday, it was a very hard last month for me. I felt so bad at home and I didn't know if I could come back, and I'm here. I was struggling in the dry conditions. I don't have the rhythm yet. I need to do a little bit more after this stop. But today with the rain, I was feeling so good on the bike. I saw lap after lap, I was feeling better, and as soon as I put the first position, I said, okay, I tried to put a rhythm to open a little gap, and it was possible. So yes, I'm very happy. I want to say thank you too much to all my team, all my family, my girlfriend, everyone that supports me at home, the sponsors, everyone. And it's a very big gift. It's my birthday today, so win today is something awesome. And like I always said, eu tenho que falar em português também. O pessoal que está aí de casa, eu estou muito feliz. É um dos dias mais felizes da minha vida. Eu tive um último mês muito difícil, com uma lesão na cabeça, que eu não sabia se eu poderia voltar. Mas Deus é bom, eu continuei acreditando, vim para cá. Com pista seca estava faltando um pouquinho de ritmo para mim. Preciso rodar um pouquinho mais para reencontrar essa velocidade. Mas na chuva conseguimos vencer, estou muito feliz. Para melhorar, meu aniversário hoje, presentão. Estou muito feliz. Agora é comemorar e aproveitar o momento. Obrigado.
Congratulations, Eric.
Did you catch any of that, Neil?
All of it, I would say.
Yeah, same.
He said the same. He said pretty much the same in Portuguese. He just translated for those watching us from Brazil or indeed in Portugal.
Oh, bless him. That's very good of him. So happy birthday, Eric. Of course, it still is his birthday. We had a race earlier on today. It always still feels like yesterday we get to this point, doesn't it? You know, everything's so much cast into the past, especially when the weather is in such a contrast as to what we met earlier as well. But there was Eric Granado making the move for that lead, and then he kept it all the way until the red flag. So there we have it. Eric Granado wins again in MotoE, putting himself well into the fray. 35 points he has, alongside Andrea Mantovani in P6 in the standings. Manfredi has 38, so I would say, Eric, keep it up and throw in some more sketchy conditions like today's. Find himself in contention for the championship.
Yeah, just 28 points I think he is off the championship summit. Jordi Torres still the championship leader. And what was 6 rounds and 12 races still to play? I would very much keep Eric Granado in the championship hunt. Massive couple of weeks up ahead, of course, with the German Grand Prix and the Dutch TT coming up in the next fortnight. MotoE will be present, of course, at both Grand Prix. And if Eric can follow on his good form shown here, then yeah, he could go into the summer break with very firm hopes of being in the championship hunt.
See the Red Bull rookies there, they're up next in this very, very wet Saturday here in Mugello. They've actually got a bit of a carbon copy of what they experienced last year in the wet conditions as well. They'll be, we check which broadcaster shows the Red Bull rookies wherever you are watching from. They're also on Red Bull TV. Coming up, myself and Peter Clifford bringing you the coverage from that one if you are tuning into that. But we are awaiting, I think we don't have the Podium camera feed. There we go, we do now. Yeah, all of a sudden heard some cheers. I thought, where are we? Here's Eric onto the podium then. We get to hear that glorious national anthem of Brazil as well after the trophies are presented to the riders. Here we have the happiest man from Ducati. Head of the MotoE project, giving them to the trophies, Roberto Cane. He absolutely loves MotoE, almost as much as Nicola Goubert, almost as much.
Yeah, Ducati's director of e-mobility, man that has been at the forefront of the explanations of Ducati's efforts to build their superb V21L. Winners' Trophy, Federico Caleno, head of e-mobility, Italy, NLX, hands the Winners' Trophy to Eric Granado, the 11th time in his career that he has been a MotoE race winner. Time now for the national anthem. Competition he's had this weekend. A great race in first one, but even better in race two. On his